Compounding is the solution to the vast majority of progress in the world, and personal compounding is even more powerful. When you're going through a very high pressure situation, so the fund was down 30-something%. The press, loves you on the way up and loves you even more to write about you on the way down. So there was a lot of very negative press. There was some litigation in connection with that Valiant investment, and I was in the middle of a divorce. So it was bad. It's about as bad as it gets, but I didn't have a health issue. So one, it's important to keep perspective. But the way you manage through that kind of stressful situation, all of us are going to have a moment like this. Unfortunately, it's going to be, a health issue. It's going to be you're fired from your job, your startup fails. You will, and it's even harder when you've fallen from a high place to a low place. So my method was just, I'm going to make a little progress every day. Compounding is the solution to the vast majority of progress in the world, and personal compounding is even more powerful because you make 0.1% progress every day. It doesn't sound like a lot, but annualized, it's a huge amount. And so what I said to myself going through this period is, each day I'm going to make progress. I'm not going to look back to where I was, because if I look there, I'm going to get discouraged. I'm just going to focus on the next step, and then the next step, and the next step. And you don't notice any meaningful change for the first few weeks. But about 90 days in, you're like, okay, I'm here. Here's where I was. Now, I used to be up there, but I'm just going to keep compounding. And the curves of compounding, which I'm sure you know well, start like this. They don't look like much, and then they look like COVID, and they sort of eventually kind of take off. And the other key success factor going through a challenging period of time is just to be really healthy. So, I decided a while ago to go zero sugar. I highly recommend zero sugar. It's good for everything from mental acuity to the way you look, to physical, just everything about it is a positive. Exercise, nutrition, sleep, kind of the basics, and then surrounding yourself with people you love and love you. And if you do that, I think you can work yourself through almost any problem.
Einstein is reputed to have said that compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world or something like that. And it goes back to that story you probably learned when you were in grade school where somebody did something for the king, and the king said, "What can I do for you?" And he said, "Well, let's take a chessboard and put one kernel of wheat on the first square, and then double it on the second, and double it on the third." And the king readily agreed to it, and by the time he figured out what 2 to the 64th amounted to, he was giving away the entire kingdom. So it's a pretty simple concept, but over time, it accomplishes extraordinary things. I went into business very early. I started selling Coca-Cola door to door. I sold gum door to door, or sold Saturday Evening Post, Liberty Magazine, Ladies Home Journal, you name it. I think I enjoyed the game almost right from the start. But I like being my own boss. That's one thing I liked about delivering papers. I could arrange the route I wanted. Nobody was bothering me at 5 or 6 in the morning. I was delivering 500 papers a day, and I made a penny a paper, but in terms of compounding, that penny turned into something else.
Billionaire investor Charlie Munger often articulated the importance of compounding in investing. Compound interest is at the core of Munger's long-term investment strategy. He once said, "The first rule of compounding is to never interrupt it unnecessarily. The big money is not in the buying and selling, but in the waiting." Munger mentioned, "Understanding both the power of compound interest and the difficulty of getting it is the heart and soul of understanding a lot of things." The power of compound interest is well captured in Albert Einstein's famous remark, "Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it."